Yeah, that's what I did. Like, send in the parking lot before I put I didn't do much, I'll tell you that. The meeting or not.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a short, yeah, I can do much. No, man.
All right, good evening, everyone. This is the Mayor and Town Council Brentwood Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, April 19, 2022, and we're starting this meeting at 7:05 p.m. The meeting is being held in person and virtually, and residents can view this meeting via Comcast Channel 71, Verizon Channel 36, and YouTube Live. And you can also provide public comments during the meeting by email at info@brentwoodmd.gov requesting the Zoom link. With that, my town clerk used to step out, but I will be calling the roll. Councilmember Taylor?
Present.
Councilmember Monroe?
Present.
Councilmember Betcher Golf, not here yet. Vice Mayor Legan.
Present.
I have the town attorney Jason DeLoach.
Present.
Town treasurer Shelley Dorsey.
Present.
I have town administrator Mr. James Gaston.
Present.
And our town clerk is here, Giselle Richards, and I am Mayor Rocio Treminio Lopez, here with you tonight. With that, I will ask a moment of silence, followed by a pledge of allegiance. All right, please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I cannot start this meeting without saying happy birthday to my son. He's 18 years old today.
Oh, happy birthday, DeAndre.
So, I have a man in the house. Another one. Thank you for that. So, I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda of the mayor and council meeting tonight with a few additions.
And those are under old business. We're going to add the ordinance for fiscal year 23 budget. And that's going to be presented by our town treasurer. Also, the line item transfer ordinance will be added to the old business.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Because I'm updating the agenda, so do you want me to add, it's A, B, and C, do you want me to add E and F?
Yes.
Okay, so D is,
The ordinance for the fiscal year 23 budget.
okay.
It's, well, the
other way
amendment for
around?
FY22 budget for the ARPA ordinance, that's already on the budget.
So I don't need to.
No.
Okay.
The resolution for the line item transfers, that's gonna be under new business.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, so that's,
And the holiday ordinance, needs to be added, and we can put that under old business?
Mm-hmm.
okay, so,
What is that one again?
The holiday ordinance?
The holiday ordinance. Okay. Any other item in the agenda that needs to be removed or add?
Mayor,
Sir?
Mayor, did you want to do the park one?
No, we did it. I've
Okay.
confirmed.
Okay.
And you got the FY23 budget ordinance, right?
I have FY22 budget amendment, ARPA ordinance, ARPA funds, ARPA magnet, and town holiday ordinance. That's all.
Okay, under new business, the FY23 budget ordinance,
Okay.
first reading.
Okay, so say again, FY.
First reading of the FY23
Mhm.
budget ordinance.
Okay.
can
So,
also, I'm
we're gonna table the presentation from Thomas Stone PTO and Man Rainier on the ARPA request. And also, I would like to remove from new business the letter of support to, for artworks. We already, they only asked for a letter of support, so I already submit that letter.
You said you're gonna remove it?
Yeah.
And could we remove the chief's report? He's not here.
Yeah, he's on a, conference this week.
You want to remove it or just?
Yeah, we can remove it.
Just
He's not
remove it.
here to give it.
Is that L.A. Perez?
Anything else?
Do we have the other presentation?
L.A. Perez?
L.A. Perez, they're not coming.
No. Yeah, I can pull it up with these things. Yeah, I can pull it up.
Okay.
Okay, you can provide that report there then.
Right now?
You can present the report,
Yeah.
the update report. All right, all in favor to approve the agenda with all the changes made? Say aye.
Aye.
So moved. Thank you. Upcoming events, we had, today we had food distribution. Capital Food Bank distribution was done by Vice Mayor this morning. Thank you. Tuesday, April 19, today we have the meeting. Saturday, April 23rd, we have a lot of things going on in Brentwood. We're going green event and the river cleanup. I'll be doing the going green event, and Vice Mayor, you will be doing the river cleanup. We're still looking for volunteers, and also we are willing to provide community service hours for those kids that need the hours. It's gonna be a fun activity, so please join us. We're going to be meeting here at 10 a.m. So, at Town Hall. Tuesday, April 26th, Public Works Committee will be meeting at 7:30 p.m. And Saturday, April 30th, we have Arbor Day event starting at 10 a.m. Please let me know if you have any other events.
What were the dates that we discussed for the budget reading? I thought we were doing it tonight and at the following, but I may be wrong.
Was it the?
It is for the work session that we're
I thought
gonna
we were
have
doing it
the.
before the council and before this meeting and the work session. So it's gonna be before the work session and then the council meeting?
Yeah.
And then we can approve it at the second reading?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so the hearing is supposed to happen on the first meeting in May,
The work session.
on the
Okay.
work, before the work session, 6:30. Hearing and.
Tonight and,
No,
On this-
next.
No, the hearing.
oh,
Both meetings in May.
Mhm.
oh, okay. Oh, so we don't need it on the agenda tonight?
You're gonna do the first reading
Oh, okay.
tonight,
Oh, okay.
yes.
So tonight and then before the
The
work session?
work session.
Yes?
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I wasn't crazy. Okay.
Okay. And so can I just make an announcement?
Yeah.
I just want to tell the residents that may be viewing that third booster or the second booster shot is available for 50 and older and 12 and older if you have underlying conditions. And just to remind everybody to be safe out there.
Correct. Unfortunately, all the numbers are
They're
going up, so we all need to do our part and make sure we all get vaccinated, get the booster.
And wear your mask in public spaces, please.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. All right, move that along. Thank you, Shelley, for that. General public comments, and I will ask our town clerk if she has received any comments at all.
I have not received any public comments for this meeting.
And there are no public comments in the email.
All right, residents, thank you so much for trusting us. Okay, so I move to approve the minutes, and we have council meeting minutes Tuesday, March 15, 2022, and work session Tuesday, April 5th, 2022.
I move to approve the meeting minutes for March 15th and April 5th.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so move. Okay, and we're going to remove the presentation, so we're only gonna have an update from L.A. Perez, and that will be Mr. Gaston.
Give me 1 hot second. Pull it up.
And you're not ready, Mr. Gaston?
All right, really quickly, I'm going to read through the items that were discussed at our previous meeting with Ellie Perez in a grant situation. The grant writer reached out to Ford, Nissan, General Motors, and Volkswagen regarding a electric vehicle to augment our code of the position. And as of right now, Ford isn't interested. Nissan's going to get back to us. General Motors is going to follow up, and Volkswagen is going to wait on a follow-up. Grants, Department of Interior and Efficiency Projects had brief conversations, still working on those projects. Capacity building, infrastructure grant, very obtainable. Health grant, Prince George's County HIV population, that's available. And that is it from our L.A. Perez grant writer.
Thank you, Mr. Gaston. Any questions for Mr. Gaston? All right. With that, I move to the next item, which is the treasurer's report, deposit and activity
I
report.
do have one question. The grant for the HIV, because I don't know what the particulars are with that, but is that something in the event that, you know, with the approval of our spending plan and our health coordinator, is that a program that we could implement? What is the grant for?
Apparently, it's Prince George's County has the largest HIV program, and there are several grants available. She did not go into specifics, but I can definitely follow up with her to find out exactly.
I guess I just don't know what an HIV program is.
Yeah.
What is an HIV program? Does anyone know?
No.
It's a health grant to help with HIV, our HIV population.
I would assume maybe.
With healthcare?
Correct. I apologize.
So that's something that.
Right, it's for healthcare.
Yeah, so
My
that's
apologies.
something
Yeah,
we could
this is
think
a
about.
healthcare grant for HIV, for the HIV population.
You think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. One of the things that, now that you mentioned different program with health, is that, it just came to my head, is during the mayor's conference, they were talking a lot about the opioid crisis, and we need to start looking for some grants that they have. We need training, we need to know how to respond in a crisis, because honestly, you know, that's something that we're not aware, that how to deal with a resident on a situation like that. I am pretty sure that the officer might have some information, but it would be good to receive some sort of training or some sort of information that we can also share with the residents. But they said there will be a lot of funding for that, so I would like to know if LA Press can help us to seek some funding to be able to mitigate that, because it's like a nationwide crisis.
Oh, I was just gonna say that my department, where I am, we all took Narcan training to learn how to administer it and what to look for if someone is possibly overdosed. And I can find out from my lieutenant how he coordinated it. It may be something that the staff here would be interested in.
Ms. Mayor, may I? The staff of the town of Brentwood has taken the Narcan training with our illustrious police department. And then also remember that the police department, along with the city of Hyattsville, is working on that dual. So from a administrative police side, we've covered that, if you will. There's always more room for more. But from a citizen side, that's something different. But I want to let you know that myself, our code enforcement, Ms. Aguilar, and myself, and all the entire police department have been trained in Narcan situations. And we actually have Narcan kits in all of our cars. So you see somebody, we can help them out.
See, but like regular person, me, I know.
But like you said, you're right.
Yeah.
That's
so
correct.
It is, you know, how to recognize someone in that situation, and also how you're gonna seek for help other than just waiting for the ambulance or the police department to arrive. So it's good, you know, to have some sort of kit of information per se.
Right.
So that's just
Yeah.
my
Is
comment.
any of our officers, can they give that training?
You have to be,
Or they
Wh-
have to be certified to do the training?
right, so we were trained by Prince George's County certified trainer.
Okay.
And the person has to be well-versed in how the process, there was a whole PowerPoint presentation. It took 4 hours. I mean, it was a long, drawn-out process. And then we actually had to go through the process of, this is how you do it, and things of that nature. So, yeah, it was a 2.5 hour, 3 hour training.
Yeah,
It was
that's
very
something that
informative,
we can offer
very
to
informative. But
residents
yes,
as well.
To answer your question, yes, you do have to be certified. A random person just can't.
Can do.
You have to be certified in order to get the official designation.
Right, right.
Air quotes, right?
Thank you. All right, Shelley, floor is yours.
All right, treasurer's report.
Ma'am,
First up is the
help
cash.
me out here. Which one am I pulling up?
Cash report?
Cash
I think I
report
changed the title to say
03/2022?
cash report.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
I tried to help you out.
I am pulling that up as we speak and make it a little larger for so the rest who can't.
So the cash report as of end of March 2022. So I think I need to change my titles to Truist now, but, so the SunTrust / Truist checking ending balance is $1,394,858.17. The SunTrust / Truist ARPA account ending balance is $984,779.50. The SunTrust / Truist Capital Fund is $235,272.33. PNC is $297,370.56. The SunTrust / Truist Money Market account is $189,591.80. And the BB&T / Truist credit card account is $94,833.51. And the BB&T / Truist checking account is $266,642.45. The total available funds at the end of March is $3,464,348.32.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Summary,
Can I ask a quick question?
sure.
Before the banks merged, was there a need for them to be in two separate accounts? Was there a reason for that? Because now all of the funds are with Truist.
Yes.
Okay, so do we need to? I'm sorry, I should ask.
We're gonna keep them just the way they are.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay, because I actually went to two different banks to make a deposit, and it was kind of funny. But I just wanted to make sure. Okay, cool.
Yep. So, and just FYI, we do have a collateral agreement, so any funds over the 250,000 that's FDIC insured is covered. All of our funds are covered. They're safe. So, the budget versus actual summary report.
Give me one hot second. I'll pull that up. Budget versus actual report. I'll share the screen here in a second. And there you go.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep going.
Yes, ma'am.
So total income as of the end of March 2022 is $2,910,529. Total expenses is $1,623,164.44. That leaves us with a net income or surplus of $1,287,364.56. The bill payment list from March 9th through April 13th. Total bills presented for your review is $123,464.51. And the ARPA fund activity. So the beginning balance is the funding that we received from ARPA, $1,131,090.75. We haven't dispersed it all, but we have earmarked $150,000 for the resident relief fund, of which $32,986.88 has been spent, and it has an ending balance of $117,013.12. We earmarked $50,000 for the business relief fund, of which we've spent $13,500, which leaves a balance of $36,500. We had various other expenses, purchasing of checks for the account, training, food distribution. We had the vaccine collaboration. COVID for cleaning the facility, some police equipment purchases, Lexapol to be specific. We purchased a vehicle, some PP&E. We had a hazard pay distribution and bank fees. Those total disbursements was $137,874.87. So the ending balance in the ARPA is what's still available is $793,215.88. And that ends the reading of my report, subject to audit.
Mm-hmm. Does that conclude your report?
Yes, because everything else is later.
All right. Okay. Thank you for that, Shelley. So we'll move to the town administrator's report, if there's no question for treasurer. Nope. All right, Mr. Gaston?
Give me 1 second. Pulling it up now.
Madam Treasurer, while Mr. Gaston's pulling that up, I thought we had purchased 2 vehicles for the police department.
We haven't dispersed yet,
Gotcha.
so it'll probably be on the next one.
Cool.
Yep.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. James Gasson, Town Administrator. Here is your TA report. It's lengthy. However, what I've taken the liberty of doing is just highlighting the yellow items that are significant. One of the biggest things is the DMPED Newtown Center is moving forward. We've had a conversation with DMPED Milestone about the demolition, and so that project is finally off the ground. We'll probably be doing some major work in the next month and a half, but we now have all of our permits ready to move on. The Allison Street Levee project, the 34th Street Bridge, is now open on both sides. What the town is trying to do is to make sure that the crosswalk that was in place back in 2017 is put back. It currently is not, if you can see from this picture right here. The current situation is that the person that's on the trail is supposed to make a right, go all the way down to Van Buren, cross over Van Buren, and then come back up. But we've asked for the Prince George's County Public Works Department to reinstate the crosswalk at 34th Street. The closeout for this project for the levee is going to be June 2022, and then they'll turn the Public Works area back over to Public Works. The damaged guardrail at 38th and Volta has been repaired. And if you can, I'm sharing my screen. Am I not sharing my screen? There we go. Let me share my screen. So anyway, the guardrail has been repaired. The curb painting. So the Public Works Department has received a small allotment of paint, red and yellow to be specific, and soon as the weather gets a little warmer, we'll start painting areas that are in dire need to be painted or touched up, if you will. Tree canopy. I am happy to say after a 2-year hiatus, the town has been recertified Tree City USA, and our designated years is 8 years. These 2 signs will be going up southbound on US Route 1 and westbound on 38th Street as you enter the town. So we are moving forward with that, and we're actually having a Tree City USA Arbor Day event on April 30th at Pocket Park. We'd love for you to come out. There's going to be a lot of community service hours available to clean up the Pocket Park. Sidewalk repairs. So the fiscal year the previous fiscal year, the 40th in Volta has finally been completed. It just needs to be repainted, and as I stated, we just received some paint. So the Volta Street Volta Avenue is completely redone. The intersection, the street's been widened, is ADA compliant. So we are very excited about that project. It's finished. Another area that Grace did for us was 38th Street, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but every time it rained, this particular area would have flooding, and so they've paved over it. This is an apartment building on 38th Street, and so when the trucks came through, they would always just tear it up. So the best thing to do was to just fill it with concrete to ward off mosquitoes for the summertime. I do have some interesting news about Bartlett Park. We've been having some severe damage to the restrooms, and so what we're probably going to do is start closing the restrooms at dusk, because our Public Works is just having too much trouble maintaining, because they tear down the wall. It hasn't been a pretty picture, long story short. So ultimately, if and when we get to the point where we can use card access, we'll be able to open and close the bathrooms remotely. And so that way we can have a little bit more control over them. But yeah, the damage has been extensive, and thanks to our Mr. Welch and Mr. Matthews and Mr. Machado, they've done some work the wall was taken down in the women's bathroom. It wasn't even the men's, it was the women's bathroom. And so, go ahead. I'm sorry. No worries. So that's something we definitely have to do. As I stated, Pocket Park is going to have the Arbor Day, April 30th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Lots of community service if you're interested. The grant for the walkable greenway at Rhode Island Avenue, in collaboration with Brentwood, that grant has been submitted, and so we're waiting for the response from Department of Environment. This greenway will run from Rhode Island Avenue all the way to the tennis courts. It's an aggressive project, and so we are excited about that, and we're waiting for the results of that. The 2 public use EV stations, these are electric stations that will be stationed right outside of Town Hall, are scheduled to be installed by June 30th. These will be run by Pepco, and there will be 2 EV stations strictly for public use, and then the 2 other stations will then be for government use only. Town staff, tomorrow we're actually interviewing 5 individuals for the Public Works Department vacancy, and myself, the town treasurer, and actually Councilmember Leggins is going to be joining us as well, just as an observer. So we'll have 5 tomorrow. So we're going to be full tomorrow. Let's see, the Brentwood Business Network joint venture with Town of Colmer Manor, that's been scheduled for June 28th. It's probably going to be a breakfast, and it's going to be at the IHOP in Colmer Manor. I've already been confirmed by the mayor and the council member, so they're excited about that, and I'll get the flyer and everything out going for that. The newsletter went out on schedule March 31st for the April newsletter. The printer for Brentwood has changed. It's now the House of Print and Threads. The owner of Train Printing, Joe Levinson, has retired. He was the March 22 Brentwood Business of the Month. They had been in business for 41 plus years, and he has hung up his Xerox keys, if you will. So, his Xerox keys. So he is calling it a day. But like I said, we've moved on to House of Print and Threads, and believe it or not, the mailing will actually go quicker, believe it or not, because of his process compared to Train Printing. Capital Area Food Bank. The last day is going to be June 21st. We did one today, April 19th. Next one is May 3rd, May 17th, June 7th, and June 21st. Depending on the Capital Area Food Bank's budgeting cycle, they're just like Town of Brentwood, so July 1st through June 30th of next year will determine whether or not they will continue with this program, which has been very successful. Thanks to Councilmember Leggin, Public Works staff, and the police department, I might also add, has been very helpful in getting the food out. Communications, I'm glad to say that our social media footprint is growing big time. So on Facebook, we've got 46 new followers. On Twitter, we've got 57 new followers. Our LinkedIn, which is how we've been promoting our positions, that's also been growing as well. Instagram is also growing big time, and YouTube. We definitely want to boost that. We're at 51 subscribers but we really want to get to 100. So if you're not following us if you can subscribe to the Town of Brentwood, on YouTube, we'd really appreciate it. Also, our notary staff, we've been busy with a lot of notaries. We did 5 in the past month, and this is a service that is free to Brentwood residents, and we charge a nominal fee if an individual is not a resident of Brentwood, but the notary has been very successful, and we are very proud of that, to provide that service. We only ask that you give us an email so we can schedule a time. And that concludes my report. Does anybody have any questions? See, that's why I think something.
Yeah, just add that I did one of the notaries.
No worries. I always forget about no. So I'm actually gonna pull it up so we can look at it. Let me stop my share real quick. There we go.
While you're pulling that up, the restrooms outside, will we leaving them open
Correct.
all night?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, no, until the police go off duty, which is
So
at
they would lock the restrooms?
they would lock the restroom, but in the interim of them being on patrol, individuals were coming in and severely damaging the restrooms, and it was the women's restroom. So I thought that was peculiar, but I'll leave that alone.
Thank you, Mr. Gaston. Any
No
other
worries.
question?
I'm gonna pull up the code report for March. The code report is now up. Let me blow it up a little bit. Really quickly, nothing major on the code report, but there are some things that our code enforcement has been very busy. She's been doing a lot of rental inspections, so let me see where that is. She sure did. She's been doing a lot of business rental inspections. The home apartments, those are primarily done via Zoom and things of that nature, but the business one, she's been very, very busy. So totals for the month, I think it's at the top. Yes, it is. 11 rental inspections. Multifamily, there were 2 she did. 13 notice of violations were issued. Building permits, lights out, Pepco. She only did 1 stop work order. She did 2. She actually wrote a parking ticket, and vehicles warning of tow has been 4. So, and then municipal citation fines issued is 1. So our code enforcement officer has been very, very busy. She's also been doing a lot of training. So she was gone for a week, if I'm not mistaken, and she's been doing a lot of training as well. So I must truly tell you that our code enforcement officer is doing a very good job. She could definitely use some help. So we are still looking for a new staff member for that. Anybody have any questions?
I have a question, please.
Yes, sir.
I know in the past we've discouraged code from issuing vehicle tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Has that changed?
Discouraged. What do you mean discouraged?
The police were used for ticketing vehicles that were parked incorrectly and so forth.
Correct.
As a safety precaution.
Of course.
Have you guys discussed a new sort of way of approaching that? Because I've never seen the citations or parking tickets issued by code before. Or if I have, I just missed it.
They do.
They do?
They do. Our code has the right to write tickets.
Of course.
Yes,
Of course they
and
do. Yeah.
in the past it was Ms. Nichols who usually do the parking ticket, but then we assign also the chief to be able to help out with the parking tickets. Because
I
that's
think
what.
probably during COVID, we didn't take it as aggressively as previously we would have, but yeah, she absolutely can write tickets.
She can.
I'm not questioning her authority to write tickets. I'm wondering if we discussed safety precautions with her since that was originally a concern.
Well,
And having her not write them all, just in
Correct.
case the police do it. Oh, okay.
right. So generally, what happens is when that happens, we dispatch our police to take care of that. Then that way, she is not put in harm's way and things of that nature. If they're not available, she can write, but I assure you, our Brentwood police are always, I hate to use this term, Johnny on the spot. And if there is a car you think is illegally parked or been sitting too long, what have you, let us know and we'll dispatch our Brentwood Police Department. And they have no problem.
Sure.
And they'll do it immediately without any problem. So we haven't had that issue,
Right.
if you will.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
while she isn't writing them, she'll report it and then we'll let Brentwood Police and then they'll take care of it, unless they're busy doing something.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense, yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Basically, yes.
Yes,
Thank
sir. All right. Does anybody else have any questions about the code report? Wonderful.
Thank you, Mr. Gaston. So I will move to the mayor and council's report, and I have Cable TV Authority. Councilmember Monroe.
All right, I don't have much on the cable authority side, and I'll be quick. Outside of our meetings, obviously switching back to in-person and hybrid approach, we'll continue to try and improve those functions for folks. And as far as just general updates from other board positions, just a reminder that the PGCMA, or the Prince George's County Municipal Association meeting, is this Thursday at 7 p.m. And
They're still online, right?
so, and just to clarify, this one actually is going to go back to in person. So they're going to try hybrid meetings every other meeting.
Okay.
So this one's going to be in College Park at the new town hall, and then they'll be providing a hybrid version option for people that can't or would prefer not to attend in person. You can do the Zoom link.
That's nice.
So we'll see how this goes, and you know,
And
I think from there that'll be a good.
Mayor, if I may,
Mhm.
when is this again?
This is Thursday, the 21st, and at 7 p.m.
Thank you.
I know. I was like, are you? I'm on
I was
pins and needles
I-
right
I-
now.
Well, I was just curious. I'm just curious.
All right. All right.
I got you. Well, you're in City College Park, and they have a brand new facility.
Yes.
And Kenny Young is a guy I know who's not the new.
Roy Young was very excited to show off his new building.
Yes, he is.
Which is why the first meeting is
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, he is.
Strongly advocating for us to see the brand new building.
very much.
Very much.
So we'll be checking that out. And then that's it. That's all I have for the report.
Oh, short report, thank you. Next is Public Works, Vice Mayor Legg.
Alrighty, I'll have a short report, not quite so short, but close to it. Of course, I attended the Brentwood business meeting at Colmar Manor, or with Colmar Manor, assisted with the Tuesday food distribution. I'm beginning the process of recertifying with Sustainable Maryland, so that's been sort of like an education for me, honestly, to learn like all that's entailed, and it's a lot, but we'll figure it out. I've got 3 months to complete it. Assisted with the newsletter I loved, of course attended the Easter egg hunt. One thing that I just was really excited about is, you know, I think we've come to realize that, you know, we really need the buy-in of our residents to sort of support the town through their own volunteer efforts. It's only so much that mayor, council, and staff can do. And so I've been fortunate enough to meet a few people across town who want to offer their services. And I'm just excited to announce that we actually have a resident who's organizing a Brentwood Porch Fest for performing artists to coincide with our centennial celebration. So I've been working with her, and then also working with a resident who wants to offer bilingual environmental education classes for kids. And I'm just excited about this because I think this is, you know, one residents see other residents chipping in a volunteer way. I think it becomes contagious. So my hope is that it's the start of something big. And then the last thing, and this is what we call a teaser in the radio biz, I created a walking history tour to coincide with our centennial celebration with the assistance of former Mayor George Denny, another volunteer who helped me. So that'll be something fun for us and the residents to do in June.
Thank you for that. All right, next item. So Councilmember Wolf is absent tonight, and I'm going.
Mayor, if I may,
Yes.
they appreciate it. The Green Team, we are, I won't say rededicating, but we're putting a new plaque for the Chief's garden that's out right outside here. So we're going to redo or rededicate his garden on Memorial Day. So this is per Councilmember Goff. She and I have been collaborating on this project. So Memorial Day weekend, we're going to do the festival or the celebration at Veterans Park, and then we're going to come down here and then rededicate the garden, and then we're going to provide the chief his retirement piece, what has his for about the garden. It'll be a shadow box. It's going to be really nice. So it'll be Memorial Day weekend. Just let everybody know. This is per Councilmember Goff. Sort of a surprise for the chief, but not anymore.
Thank you. All right, so I will move to the special events with Councilmember Taylor.
This month was short, I think, for everybody, probably except for you.
I just made it sound like it
Oh,
was.
you made it sound like it was like. So I attended PGCMA. I'm on 3 committees in PGCMA. So we had multiple meetings throughout the month. As Councilmember Monroe stated, we will be having our first in-person / Zoom meeting this Wednesday. I also was able to, with the assistance of Mr. Gaston, provide written support for Juneteenth to become a statewide holiday, which happened this month. And we've done some things with Brentwood Day. We've secured the amusements. Thank you, Ms. Dorsey, for your assistance with that. The staff put on an amazing Easter egg hunt on Thursday. Yes, all the days run together.
Blend together.
And I wanted to thank the staff for that. And I think that is all that I have. Oh, we'll be meeting tomorrow. Special Events Committee will be meeting tomorrow. And I think that's all that I have.
It might sound like a very short report, but I have to acknowledge that my council is busy working and getting engaged and getting out. As I say, I'm here to support all of your efforts and calling and trying to get by, but thank you so much for helping out, because that's a lot of work if we are only 5 of us trying to complete, but getting volunteers and getting the staff involved also help us a lot. So thank you for that. Well, my report, supporting special events. I have been calling different businesses, organizations to make sure we get in the list for as a vendors or as a participants in the parade. We also already secure $1,000 from State Farm. It's going to be sponsoring the Brentwood Day. I'm still waiting for more money to come in. We already secured the tents for the event, and again, I don't want to announce until I receive everything I have requests. But I've been door knocking, asking for sponsorships, and also trying to bring some vendors to our event. I was able to attend the mayor's conference. A lot of information was provided, a lot of money that is going to be coming to the county, and we need to start vigilant about those funds, because it's $2.5 billion out there. So we need to start looking for grants, ways to get our hands on that money too for our residents. That there's a lot of different services that we can be able to provide if we get the right help. So I'm also going to be attending tomorrow. I'll be leaving to Chicago for an emergency response. I'm part of the it's called, I'm going to read this. It's called the NALEO Policy Institute, and I am part of the National Emergency Preparedness for 21st Century. 2 years ago in 2019, I was able to attend to this first training, and I can tell you that I have learned a lot that was able to help me during this pandemic. I didn't know that I guess when they did the training, they didn't know they were preparing us for something different, but they were telling us how to get the Red Cross, how to get to the food banks, how to get the different agencies, FEMA, all that when it's an event like this. So never thought that it would be a pandemic. So I'm going back once again. The training is on Thursday and Friday. I'm flying back Friday because the training is going to happen in Chicago. And lucky me, I was able to secure a scholarship to be able to attend. So the town will be only paying my per diem, and they paying for my flight and my stay. and obviously the conference. So, we're a small town, so we qualify. But it's important to get in the different conference. Like I know some of you would like to participate in National League of Cities. I think these are great trainings that they offer. So I encourage you guys to sign up and get information, because there's sometimes, little, there's always little or a lot of information that we can absorb, but it's always good to be able to act in a case of an emergency. So with that, and also, I don't know if it's appropriate, but I have my attorney right here. On April 15, I submitted my petition to run for state senate. So we'll be out and about once again. So that's my report. Thank you. All right, with that, I will move to the next item in the agenda, which is the consent to receive reports.
I move to receive the reports presented at the mayor and council meeting on Tuesday, April 19th, 2022.
Yeah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Before I move to the next item, I forgot to mention that we lost one of our residents on Saturday morning. They called me. She is one of our longtime residents on Upshur Street. So the family was struggling. They're a senior family, and they were trying to seek some help. And I was able to direct the gentleman and to get some information. So unfortunately, Miss, I forgot her last name, passed on Saturday morning. So,
Mayor, if I may?
yes.
If you can get me that information, we'd love to do a letter of condolence.
Okay.
So just give me some of that information, and we'll definitely get that out, and the letter will be for you to sign.
I will.
Okay?
And I also was able to deliver food today. Some of the boxes that I asked you to save, one of our residents called in, and she was unable to come because she has COVID on 37th Street. That's part of my day. Approval of quote for mobile and portable radios for the police department. That has been already approved. And I guess this is just to be in the consent because those funds have been already.
The chief just wanted to make sure they were verbally done.
That's what I was like, I thought we were.
He just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, and also the uplifting for the new vehicle, that has been approved as well, but we just want to make sure that, yes, he get the, yes.
Can you just say it 5 times real quick?
Yeah, making sure that we all agree.
No take backs.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I will move to the old business, and we have fiscal year 2022 budget amendment, ARPA ordinance 2022-01, and that's our town treasurer.
So you guys can let me know how you want to proceed with this. We've already did the 2 required readings, so it just needs to be approved.
I just need a motion to approve.
So I will make a motion to approve the fiscal 2022 budget amendment ARPA ordinance, ordinance number 2022-01.
Any questions about this item? No, please call the roll. Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Monroe,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Leggett,
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor,
Yes.
Mayor Tremaine Lopez.
Yes, so moved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'm looking for a motion to approve ARPA funds spending plan presented by Vice Mayor Leggett.
This was just for you guys. Yeah.
Okay. I move to approve the ARPA fund spending plan as presented by Vice Mayor Leggett.
Any questions, suggestions?
So can we just, I guess for the sake of the meeting, pull it up on the screen and or read off the tables? for
Sure.
each topic.
Yeah.
Fair.
Is that in, oh, sorry.
That was
Yeah.
in last week's.
Is that in the folder?
It was emailed, but
So
For the
is
last
it in the
meeting.
folder, or do I need to go to the
I
last
think
one?
it's in the folder.
It's in this folder?
Yeah.
I can read the totals off too.
Yeah, go ahead, Vice Mayor.
So under short-term and town hall spending, we have a total of $110,000 for direct resident assistance. We have $101,000 for town hall, $208,000 for public works, $161,000 for public safety and police, $150,000 for community support, $203,509 for personnel, that includes retro hazard pay, $100,000 for donations, TBD. Under long-term spending, we have set aside $200,000 for affordable housing, $150,000 for affordable childcare, $173,000 for the position of community services coordinator, $173,000 for the position of ARPA grant manager, $143,000 for roadways and streetscapes, $320,000 for stormwater management, and $200,000 for small business support.
Giving a total also.
That comes to a total spending of $2,252,609, which leaves a remaining balance of $9,572.
Any questions?
The remaining balance is not allocated
Correct.
money?
Correct. And I will say that this will be a working document over the course of the next 4 years. For instance, something like the ARPA grant manager, perhaps we
Right.
won't have a need for that. That's $173,000 in savings. You know, and so what this does is it ticks off those big ticket items that our residents told us they wanted us to spend our money on.
Right.
And so if we have, like, let's say, some sort of reserves as this document sort of breathes over the next few years, then we can start ticking off those lower priority ones, right? So,
Thank you.
So, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, but, so these funds will be restricted once we make the motion to approve the spending plan for the next 4 years?
That is correct.
Thank you. All right, so if no other question, I will have, yes.
And so one thing about the requirement to obligate, does that technically trigger the obligate? And just to clarify, does it have to move into, for example, a contract or an actual process to spend it? I just want to make sure we know when we've obligated something according to the federal guidelines versus something that's listed as like an idea or a goal to spend it. And I want to make sure I'm clear.
Right,
on
so
that.
in terms of compliance, it's when it's spent.
When it's spent, okay.
Right, so when our first report's due the end of this month, I'm only reporting out on what we've spent.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, the other, not question, but I want to make a comment that we need to secure the spending plan in a way that, for instance, next year when the new council come in, per se, we keep this goal. There's not going to be any change. So how can we do that? It has to be a resolution, or how do we make sure that this money is restricted for the spending plan that has been presented?
Well, the problem with a resolution or anything that you enact, it can be reversed by the council. Okay, so, you know, if you want to try to give it as much formality as possible, you can do a resolution. Hopefully, the new council will abide by that. But a new council can basically do what they want. Unfortunately.
Right.
I mean, as needs change, though, there may be a need to have some flexibility if we go back into lockdown. You know what I mean? Things definitely could change, but I would like for us to try and protect the interests of the residents as much as we can.
Of course.
Right. So, Mayor, I'm sorry, I have another question then. So, would these be created as line items, Madam Treasurer, in your view? Because there's an account that has the money in it, correct? And then
No, so I would be tracking this cost on my spreadsheet like I currently do. Any payments that we made or disbursements out of the ARPA fund, it all just goes to one line item for ARPA disbursements. I capture it all right there.
okay. And it was more so the process. I didn't know if in the future people would have to do line item transfers, if something changed in the future, and it would be more complicated that way. So that sounds simpler to track that way.
So from accounting standpoint, it's pretty simple. You know, with your approval of this, and you know, obviously the funds are restricted. Without the resolution, you could easily come back to a meeting and say, you know, vote to move, you know, $50,000 from the resident relief fund to the business fund, something of that nature. I would imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, if you do a resolution, well, then you're going to have to probably do a more formal process to undo it.
Mm.
So it's probably better to keep it the way you currently have it.
And I think we just all have to make a pact to run again next year. Let's do that right now.
It's like Sandlot right now.
Pinky swear. All right. Any other question?
No, thank you. That
These are good
helps.
questions, though.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to make sure I know the reporting got easier.
Yes.
But, you know, I just want to make sure I understand what we need to do each time we have to do the reports or need to move things around. Because I agree, I think some things will change. If we get a grant, we can move things over. And I was just trying to make sure I understand how complicated that process would need to be in the future. So, yeah.
All right. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Taylor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Leggett,
Yes.
Councilmember Monroe,
Yes.
Mayor Tremaine Lopez.
Yes. So approved. Thank you. Next item is a motion to approve fund for Art Magnet project. I would going to defer to Councilmember Monroe since he said he will do so.
And I forgot to tell you that when we talked about it. So
I know, I'm like,
we both kind of dropped the ball on that.
you did. I thought I had more time. I thought I had more time.
I thought they were doing a good job, but
Take it back.
So, I do need more time to clarify the local artist piece of it, though I think the approval of the funds can move forward. I think that part is fine.
Okay.
We just want to make sure we get local artists to do the work, and that's the part we need to coordinate on.
Okay, so the motion,
How much was it?
10,000. It was between 8 and 10.
I thought it was 12. Is that, did they not? No? Okay, 8 and 12, okay.
8, 10, yeah.
So,
So we're maxing out at 10?
yeah,
Yeah, we feel comfortable with that?
yeah.
I think so.
And where is this coming from? I'll just say TBD.
No. I mean, we do have some money in ARPA for.
Do you need me to find it within our budget, or was this initially to come out of ARPA? I guess that's.
I don't recall.
Under roadways and streetscapes, we do have 30,000 assigned to public art with the estimated cost of 10,000 per commission. So.
Okay.
Okay, tell me
So
that
you
one more
put it
time.
Do it there.
Roadway and
Okay.
streetscapes.
So will you follow up with them?
Yes.
This is from ARPA.
So I'll follow with them about coordinating for local artists, and then clarify our position on that.
Councilmember Moore.
Right, so I actually spoke to the art folks today. It's a two-pronged process. They build the box, if you will, and they're certified by Prince George's County, whatever. And then the artists that they have, or you have, will do the artwork. So some of the money will be going to these individuals to build the box, whatever that is. And then the art will be done either by town of Brentwood artists and or whoever.
I think I need to take back my like where we're pulling this money from, though, because the reason why it can qualify for ARPA was because it would be a facade improvement, that is like a mural on the side of a building,
Right.
but an art box would not qualify as that. So I take back what I said about that.
Okay. So can you trust me to locate the money within our line?
Shelley, I
items?
trust you with my life.
I believe that.
Okay.
So we want to do a TBD?
So yes.
Okay. I move to approve $10,000 in funding for the Art Magnet project, with the line item to be decided by our treasurer.
Any more questions?
And to clarify, are we okay if a part of it goes to the group, which technically lives outside of our boundaries, to build the box, but local artists assist with the art within the box? I just want to make sure, was it 100% homegrown talent making this thing from start to finish, or are we okay with splitting it? I want to make sure I got my mandate
That's a great question, yeah.
clear on that.
Mr. Gaston, will they build it but not
Right.
put art in it?
Yes, they will. And so,
Okay.
according to the conversation I had with her today, that in order to do this officially, you have to be certified by Prince George or something, something, something. So they can build it, and then you can take your pencil and put your little artwork on
Yeah,
it.
that's what I want to say, that, part of this proposal includes meetings with the community, with the children, so they can do the piece of art. So the arts will come from residents. It's not like you're going to have an artist doing this. This is going to be the residents, actually. But they're going to have an artist guide them how to make the art, I believe, the painting.
Is there like a price structure that would outline them simply paying for the structure and not doing any of the programming or supplies?
We hadn't gotten that far yet in our conversation because I didn't know what our artists are willing to do and how much it would cost and things of that nature. So I'd be honest with you, I'm just not familiar.
Yeah, because to Councilmember Monroe's point, like how much are we willing to pay?
It's up to you guys as to what you want to do. I can contact them tomorrow or Thursday and find out what are the details. And then we can have another conversation. But as long as the funds have been allocated, then we should be able to move forward.
Great, and I'm clear on the position is that we're trying to, as much as possible, primarily majority of the labor, if there's somebody getting paid to make it or paid to do the art, however it breaks down, that we're trying to look for the majority of it to go towards local.
Yeah.
So
I think of like maybe Artworks would be a good organization
Right.
to partner with. They probably have the programs already in
Yeah.
place that could be sort of like shoehorned into this project, I
Yeah.
would guess.
So I'm clear on that part.
Okay.
So if you want to just add me into the call or,
Right. Like I said, we can have that conversation. I'll try to have that conversation with them tomorrow or whenever to find out where we are and how this works.
okay.
All right. Any other questions? No? Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Monroe,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Leggett,
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor,
Yes.
Mayor Tremaine Lopez.
Yes. So, thank you. All right, so we move into the new business, and this is the Resolution 2022-02, transfer of appropriated funds. Treasurer?
We have the holiday ordinance under old business.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
That's okay.
We do.
So I don't know if you saw or you received the version where we actually combined both holidays. Do you have that? Okay. All right, so I will read the ordinance. Town of Brentwood, an ordinance by mayor and council members of the town of Brentwood. An ordinance to amend section 189-17 paid holidays of the town of Brentwood Code of Ordinance to designate Juneteenth and Indigenous Peoples' Day as town paid holidays. Whereas Juneteenth is the oldest recognized celebration observing the freedom of African Americans from slavery in the United States. Juneteenth is a historic milestone reminding Americans of the triumph of the human spirit over the harshness of slavery and basic civil right of freedom and equality for all. And whereas the celebration honors those 11.5 million African Americans who survived in chains in the voyage of the Americas, as well as the millions that did not survive. For more than 200 years, enslaved African Americans were stripped of their humanity by forced family separation, rape, branding, whipping, mutilation, and death. And whereas the Emancipation Proclamation was issued on September 22nd, 1862, with an effective date of January 1, 1863, but it had minimal immediate effect on the majority of enslaved people who remained in captivity and oppressed by slave owners. And whereas on June 19, 1865, Union General Gordon Granger and 2,000 federal troops arrived in Confederate-controlled Texas to take possession of the state and to enforce the emancipation of enslaved people throughout the state. And whereas 2 years, 5 months, and 18 days after President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, the last of those enslaved within the borders of the United States were freed. And whereas the word Juneteenth became the name of the joyous celebration of freedom from slavery as a result of the words June 19th, combined together in speech. And whereas it is not enough for the town of Brentwood to enjoy parades, marches, and other events celebrating Juneteenth, town of Brentwood must recognize Juneteenth as an official town holiday. Juneteenth has been recognized and celebrated annually in various parts of the United States and became a federal holiday on June 17, 2021, when President Joe Biden signed the 19th National Independence Day Act into law. And whereas Indigenous Peoples Day acknowledges and celebrates a population of long residents in the United States that have been historically ignored or suppressed. Whereas the land in the United States has been home for tens of thousands of years to indigenous communities that are deeply tied to the land and communities within. Whereas this Indigenous Peoples Day celebrates and honors the rich history and culture of ignored groups of people in the Americas deserving of recognition. Whereas Indigenous Peoples Day was instituted in Berkeley, California in 1992 to coincide with the 500th anniversary of the arrival of Columbus in the Americas on October 12, 1492. And starting in 2014, many other cities and states adopted the holiday. Whereas on October 8, 2021, President Joe Biden became the first U.S. president to formally recognize the holiday by signing of a presidential proclamation declaring Indigenous Peoples Day a national holiday. Whereas it is not enough for the town of Brentwood to enjoy and recognize this holiday by way of proclamation. Town of Brentwood must recognize Indigenous Peoples Day as an official town holiday. Now therefore be it ordained by the mayor and council of the town of Brentwood that section 189-17 is hereby amended as follows. 189-17 paid holidays. Holiday leave is paid for full-time employees on the following days designated as official holidays: New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, Washington's birthday, Memorial Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, Labor Day, Indigenous Peoples Day / Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas Day. B, all legal holidays observed by the town of Brentwood will be observed on the same days as observed by the federal government. And be it further ordained that amendments to this ordinance shall become effective and the Juneteenth holiday will be observed beginning June 19, 2022, and Indigenous Peoples Day beginning October 10, 2022. And it be further ordained that provisions of this ordinance shall be construed as severable, and should any section or part thereof be held unconstitutional or for any reason invalid or unenforceable by a court of competent jurisdiction hereto, the unaffected portions thereof shall remain valid and shall be given full force and effect. And be it further ordained that all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict with any other ordinance and any of the provisions of this ordinance are hereby repealed. And it be further ordained that this ordinance shall become effective at the expiration of 30 calendar days following passage by the mayor and council. And it be further ordained that a reasonable summary of each ordinance shall be published in a newspaper or newspaper having general circulation in the town. Approved and adopted this blank day of blank 2022 by the town of Brentwood, Maryland.
So that is the first reading.
Okay. So the ordinance number is 2-02202.
So we'll do the second reading at the next meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Thank you for your information.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. Next item in the agenda. Now is the resolution 2022-02, the transfer of appropriated funds.
Okay. So this is, I know this is going to get revised. I can move forward with this, but I know it's going to change. So do you want to table? It's going to, I'm going to change this because with the art magnet project, I know I'm going to have to move money. I know where I'm going to move it from, but I am going to have to, but I know this is going to change.
Table.
So we can table it.
All right. So the next item will be request approved funds for parking permit passes. Do we know how much that is?
The amount is under 500, but I have to, it's about 400 something, but with shipping and all of that, I'm not sure what final cost is.
Okay, so you need 600?
No, I think 500 works. It's still under, I just don't know the exact amount yet.
Oh, okay. So I need a motion to approve not to exceed 500?
I'm sorry, this is for,
Parking permit.
Parking permits.
you said not to exceed 500?
Approval for that?
I move to approve funding for parking permit passes not to exceed $500.
Okay, any questions?
I just have one question, and just for a matter of record, do we have to, okay.
No.
You
No,
had
but,
the same
but,
question.
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
It's usually approved at the council meeting, but sometimes it does go over, so that's why.
but I only have to come back for the difference.
That's not in the budget in any place?
So, it is.
mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
We don't have to,
all right.
Yeah.
So I'm withdrawing the motion?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Mm.
Motion withdrawn.
Right.
Go nuts.
Thanks. We like motions. 2022 MML Summer Conference Booth Approval of Funds. Is this over $500?
So this is for the stuff that we want to give away at the booth.
Oh, yes.
I'm assuming it's going to be over 500, and we wanted to get some kind of constraints so that Martha knows, Ms. Aguilar knows what, what she's allowed to spend. So I wanted to bring it before the group to get some sort of consensus about what everybody felt was appropriate. So this is for giveaways, but also swag, and everything that we need to outfit the booth. So if we need banners, if we need tablecloths, all of that would fall under this specific amount.
Because we had talked about, not we, but we had talked earlier about purchasing extra things for the Brentwood Day Festival to take as swag to the booth, but this would be stuff that's over and above.
It's 1,000. More?
15?
Yes.
I'm thinking, honestly, when you look at the swag and how, to make sure you have enough, I would say at least 3,000.
I was thinking
Wow.
3 as well.
Yeah, it's not,
Because you have hundreds and hundreds of people coming through the
Sure.
exhibition area
If there
every
was
day.
extra, we'd always be able to use it in one of our events. and
Yes.
stuff, so good waste.
Yeah. And it would be nice to have different things so you can use that.
yeah, that's why the
Rule.
3,000 gives you a good buffer to get different things. And you, again, you can always use them for anything else, but
Yeah.
you don't want to run out while you're
Okay.
there.
And that will be determined by the treasurer because we don't know where it's
Mhm.
coming from. So
Right.
go ahead and make the motion.
Well, it was suggested that maybe we consider going up as much as 5. How does the group feel about that? I'm good with cutting it at the middle at 4,
You
but
gonna
I'm
make
just
the
one
motion?
person.
You're gonna make the motion.
Are we good with 4? Is everybody good with 4? Let me make the motion, then we can have discussion.
There we go.
Okay. I move to approve $4,000. I move to approve $5,000 in funding for the MML Brentwood Centennial booth to come from a line item to be determined by the treasurer.
Questions? Suggestions?
My suggestion would be that it'd be easier for me to sort of think about it is if I had like some numbers, and that's no surprise coming from me, but if you said to me, well, Stefan, we estimate that we need 500 water bottles in addition to whatever else we need, and that's going to cost us blah. That would give me sort of something to wrap my head around to be like, okay, I can take that number and extrapolate it out, So I mean, I can say sure 5,000, but I have nothing to hang my hat on with that number. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
If I may,
please.
just for Brentwood Day last year, all the stuff we gave away for the parade,
Right.
that was close to 3,000. And that wasn't a lot.
How much was it?
'Cause-
I'm so sorry.
It was close to 3,000. Just the giveaways that we gave for Brentwood Day,
Sure.
which was not really a lot, but those things actually cost.
And would you expect there to be more people stopping by the booth than people we gave stuff out to at Brentwood Day?
Yes,
Yes and no, because I think for the parade route, we had maybe 4 things that we just ordered a lot of.
Right.
For this, we could actually have a more varied
Yeah.
selection of things
Sure.
Yeah.
to give out.
And you don't necessarily have to
And
give
then
them
you-
all out at the
Right.
booth.
Right, right,
That
right.
gives you a, cushion.
And that
We
was
Just
also
bring
have
some
shipping
back.
costs,
Shipping costs and all of that.
and then we'll have to have some custom
personalizing,
stuff, yeah.
customizing, I mean, you want to put Brentwood 100 years, all of that adds up.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So if I may,
Can-
so right now, Ms. Aguilar has been looking at pins, thermal bags, T-shirts, polo shirts for all of. I'm sorry, yes, ma'am.
I'm taking care of the
She's getting
the
logo.
T-shirts and the logo and
Oh,
everything that yes.
Okay, so
So-
that's different, but that's what she
Yes,
was
okay.
looking at.
Sure.
So polo shirts for staff and things of that nature, and then T-shirts just to be given away. So that's what she's been looking at,
Yeah,
but
with
she's
the
been waiting
pins,
for
tote
direction
bags.
from the council,
Yeah.
right? And you guys are supposed to meet so she can talk about
well,
what it's put together.
Before you guys order some anything, we have a logo. We already created something that I'm gonna be sending around between today and tomorrow. So we have something to work on. But I have the company that is gonna do the T-shirts.
Yeah, like I said,
That's
she
a
would,
part of why we haven't done anything yet. We wanted to wait until
Yeah.
the logo got.
but she wanted to have an idea. So what is it? What do
Right,
you think
of the
we should be
items.
ordering? If we did your logo 100 or 200 or 2,000, whatever the number is,
Right.
and she's been stuck because she just didn't know which
We
direction to
didn't
go
have
in.
any money outlay.
And then she hadn't spoken to the mayor, and she hadn't spoken to
When we
Councilmember
spoke,
Taylor.
we just started looking at
Exactly,
items.
exactly. And then of course we've always got to go through the treasurer because that's the most important person
Right.
as far as locating the funds in order to make this happen. And we trust you with our lives, as
Right.
previously
I
stated.
mean, it would be nice if she had a plan, like, she wants to order 100 water bottles, if she's ordering 50 T-shirts and just estimates.
And she couldn't do that without having an actual number because the number just sways. It can be.
It's kind of hard to shop around if you don't know
How
what
much you-
kind of funds you can actually spend. So it's both conversations needed to be had.
Yeah.
Like she can look all she want, but if she doesn't know what she can spend, it's a waste of time looking.
Well, I think I disagree, because she could come up with a plan and, she presents it. I mean, I think worst case scenario, we'd probably just scale it down
Yeah.
if it was
That's
too
true.
high. Or we'd say bump it up, if she had 50 water bottles, we might say, okay, well, add, 25 more or something.
Well,
She's never
it's-
done it before, so
Yeah.
she was nervous about
And
it.
so one of the other things that she was concerned about, should I buy a pin or should I buy like a lapel pin? So the item, depending on the cost, would make
Right.
that would make that sway. And she didn't know. She's
It's her first time. So.
it's her first.
I mean,
No,
I
I get it. So I guess the question is, has she been tasked with coming up with these items, or?
With the help of Councilmember Taylor.
Oh, okay, then yeah. So I think she just come up
With the
with
help
a
of
plan.
Councilmember Taylor.
Yeah.
So,
She could have like a low plan and like a high plan.
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
here is the proposition. I will withdraw the motion. I will meet with Ms. Aguilar. We will present at the work session. I'm sorry, not at the work session. We have a special meeting at the next month.
I'm sorry. I just have to say, for the sake of time, to get all of that stuff
Just
ordered,
get the
you
money
gotta have
approved.
your money approved before, because it's already April, it's gonna be May, and she needs to
Yeah.
be able to get it here on time.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do y'all wanna do?
So what I'm hearing you say, I believe, Madam Clerk, is that we need to approve the funding regardless. And then just,
Right. So we could
We started with
put-
3, it was suggested 5. How do we feel about cutting it down the middle
So,
at 4?
well, I think you could probably do the 5 with the contingency that, can you email your plan out? Can we?
Yeah.
Okay. So at least we could, you could get some feedback on what you guys are doing.
So
And if I may, the polo shirts and T-shirts were part of that. So if the mayor is successful, then that would might cut down on our costs,
Sure.
because that's what she was concerned about.
What do you mean, Susan?
The polo shirts and the T-shirts, that was also part of her.
Well, that's what I'm getting a quote,
Right.
and I will
I
send that
got you.
over tomorrow. He said he
worries.
will send it tomorrow morning.
But as she was trying to figure that out, that was part of her cost. So if that's not in the cost, it may not even be that high.
Well, it sounds like it is in the cost. And she said she's gonna send out with a quote.
Oh,
Yeah, no. I mean, they can give
Or
us
do we wanna put
discount,
that
but they.
from the Brentwood Day funds, because that's what we did last year. We got the shirts out of the Brentwood Day budget.
Well, again, I'm still looking for funds.
No, I'm just saying that we have a couple of options for what we want to do.
we'll work with it.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen.
So question then, how does the sponsorships impact this number? Could we go out and get 5,000 in sponsorships, for example, and make that number 10,000? I know that's one question on my mind right now is, I guess,
So
what
the
do we?
sponsorships were for Brentwood Day, but this is a part of the Brentwood Day Centennial Celebration.
Okay,
If we got enough money in sponsorships, I personally see no reason why we couldn't use that as opposed to using money from the general fund. But I think it really just depends on how much we're able to get in sponsorships.
okay. And then the follow-up question in that then is, I guess on the spot, can you tell us how much money, in theory, we would be able to allocate to this? Because to me, I'd rather just give the right number right now because of the lead time on ordering all this
Well,
stuff.
I really don't. I mean, I could go back and look, and I assume in developing or figuring out what that number is, that's not taken into consideration any sponsorships. Because that's a big piece of it. I will say that I know when North Brentwood did their 100th anniversary thing, their sponsorships and stuff paid for everything.
And that's what I'm trying to find out, but.
Yeah, and so I'm inclined to believe that, you know, we potentially could cover all of our costs
Right.
from the sponsorships and whatever activities, you know, we're doing.
Yeah, I say go for the 5,000. I mean, it's the 100 years, so I want to not go too low, and then we.
Right, well, I guess the other
yeah.
question is, are you gonna be, these items that you're looking to get for this booth, are these the same items that you're gonna be giving out on Brentwood Day? And should we be buying more?
That was
Because
initially what we
you're gonna be
discussed.
buying in bulk, and so the more you buy,
The cheaper.
the lower the unit cost. And so should you be thinking about those
Yeah.
items as well and trying to purchase it all at once? And if
Yeah.
that's
I
the
mean, there
case,
would
then the
be
5,000 probably isn't enough.
There,
Or do you think it's enough?
No.
I'm thinking not.
I'm thinking, I mean, so again, I'm thinking 500, like, just for booth stuff. And we may not even spend the whole 5,000 on the booth. But there are things that we will need for the booth that we may not need for Brentwood Day.
Gotcha.
Banners, if we want to do like custom tablecloths and all that kind of stuff. Things to outfit the booth that we wouldn't necessarily need for Brentwood Day. But we would be ordering items that could be used at both,
Okay.
if that makes sense, if I said that correctly.
May I? What Shelley was saying makes sense to think about what you're ordering for Brentwood Day now. It's already late for ordering, in my opinion, because I've done the ordering before. The later you wait, the more expensive it's going to get
Because the
because of
shipping gets out of control.
So you definitely want to consider the funds for Brentwood Day as well. Just to, like you said, the more you order, the less it is. So.
So what do you guys think in terms of, we ordered so many items for Brentwood Day last year because we did not have an event. We just had the parade, and we ordered a huge amount of giveaways to give out along the parade route. This year we're actually having something to park, provided the COVID numbers don't go through the roof in the next month and a half. So we may not need as many giveaways as we had last year, but we should think about that.
It's a 100-year celebration.
Well,
You know,
yeah,
it's-
and the other thing is, I mean, you could consider, maybe having a few nice giveaways and do a raffle. People love raffles when they go to the conferences, and then do a nice gift for the raffle. Just thought.
Like a big basket
Yeah.
thing.
That will also attract people to the
Somebody
table.
with a TV and we raffled off a TV.
Yeah, that was Campus International. They
campus.
always bring something.
You also have Brentwood Day, you have the walking tours, you have the whole year to continue celebrating the 100-year. So, it's the whole year.
So you're saying go nuts because we can always like use the stuff for something
everything
else.
else.
Okay.
Yeah, you got the whole year.
So do we wanna look at 3,000 for Brentwood Day again? Do we wanna look at more than 3,000?
I'm comfortable doing more since it won't be wasted, and it is the 100-year
Yeah,
anniversary.
it's not gonna be wasted.
Do we have money in contingency we can use for this?
So, no, I don't think we had any, I don't think we had a contingency. Oh, wait a minute, I have it right here.
Just
No, I
find
don't
us
think it was
some money.
much in there. I don't think it was anything in there, but I'm just double checking. Cause I look at so many numbers.
I'm sorry, could we pull from maybe vacant salary
Well, that's where I'm gonna pull
line
from.
items?
That's where I'm gonna pull from.
Okay, so are we thinking 5 and 5?
5 for Brentwood Day.
5 for Brentwood Day, 5 for MML?
You can do
This
that.
is in addition
I
to
mean,
the
I
money
know
we
I
had already
can-
budgeted for
I know
Brentwood
I
Day,
can pull
right?
that.
Yes.
Which was already what, 5,000?
Yes.
So we'll be spending $15,000 on
10
our
for
centennial,
Brentwood Day, and yes, and 5 for the book. Potentially.
potentially.
Mm-hmm.
But how many times do you turn 100?
Honestly, I hope never, but yes.
I'm with the logic, because I want to make sure, again, I'm worried that we would have to do some emergency meeting in the next few weeks if that number that we agree to right now isn't enough. So I'd rather just go a little bit higher and
Yep, so, no, I was wrong.
just to make sure the team can do what they need to do.
So we did have contingency in there. It was just, it wasn't as big as it's been in the past. And there's a balance of $12,853 there.
Okay, so what do y'all think?
So you wanna take that?
What are y'all thinking?
And this is contingency, that pot doesn't affect there's a big contingency pot that's always like around 15% of our overall budget. I'm trying to make sure
Oh, no,
When
no,
you
no,
say
you're
contingency-
thinking, you're thinking about reserves.
okay, I was like,
No, we're not talking about that. That's
all right,
something different.
then I'm okay.
No,
All right.
so I will never, ever
Okay.
put on the table the
God
use of
bless
our
you.
reserves.
Yep.
So,
I'd say keep it secret.
Yep.
That way nobody thinks it's there.
So
Don't even think about it.
Right. So if you do the motion, I think,
And again, we can make the motion for 100,000, doesn't mean we have to spend it. It's just
Right.
there if we need it.
yeah, I think the 10,000 to me, because we said 5,000 is already there, and we're saying
And of that
10,000.
5, we spent about 33.
that was just on rides.
That was
That's
just
just
on
on
rides.
And just making sure, is that 10,000, we think, does it need to be 10, 11, 12? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just,
you guys just gonna keep moving the bar.
it's the 100, and I'm hoping the sponsorships bring this number down, obviously, but it's April.
Take it for the town administrator's salary and we good.
Oh, no.
Well, there we go.
Random. I would say take it from the mayor and council salary,
Right.
but that would get us nowhere.
I was about to say, we get a few $100.
We'd be borrowing money.
You can
We'd
buy
have to borrow
bubble gum.
money for the,
Big bag of bubble gum.
Stamp money.
let's do
So
5 and 5.
5 and 5, I think.
All right.
And
So, Jason, do I need to mention them independently? Do I need 2 motions? Can I smush it together and just approve 10? What is the best way to do that?
I think you should do them in separate motions.
Okay.
Yep.
I move to approve $5,000 in funding for the MML Summer Conference booth.
Okay. No more question. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Monroe,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Leggett,
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor,
Yes.
and Mayor Tremaine Lopez.
Yes, so move. Next motion.
I move to approve, I'm sorry, that first one, the treasurer will determine the line item. I move to approve $5,000 in funding for Brentwood Day with the line item to be determined by the treasurer.
Any questions? Here none. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Taylor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Leggett,
Yes.
Councilmember Monroe,
Yes.
Mayor Tremaine Lopez.
Yes. So, thank you. All right. So, next, well, we table the resolution for, the line item transfer. So, I guess that's all we have.
Oh, you wanna
Text
read, do
No,
you wanna read the
FY
budget?
2022.
Oh, the budget 23.
Are
I'm
we
sorry.
reading the summary or are we reading the lines?
No, to read the,
Mayor, if I may. So, real quickly, the line item transfer has been tabled,
yes.
Mhm.
and then now we're on FY 2022-2023 ordinance. Is that correct?
No, we're on FY 20, what's the ordinance number? Well, no, we're not on the ordinance, we're just reading the budget, FY 2023 budget.
So, so this is just a budget. Okay.
Mhm.
This was the item that was added, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Proposed budget. you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Well, this is the first reading.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do the whole thing,
Each category,
everything.
every single individual. Oh,
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. I tried. Apparently, I didn't do it good. I gotta work on my footwork.
I don't. Is it in the folder? Ma'am, is it in the folder? Is it in the folder?
Yes.
It is.
Did you
Sent.
did you
Yes,
send it?
It was sent.
It's an email.
It's,
from the treasurer.
so it's not. Okay.
Okay, so this is the reading of the Mayor and Council FY 23 proposed budget. So we're gonna start with revenues. Real estate revenue, $1,131,070. Incorporated personal property tax, $55,000. Utility personal property tax, $50,000. Interest and penalty, $2,000. Total property taxes, $1,238,070. Other tax revenue, income tax, $270,000. Maryland admission and amusement tax, $2,000. Highway user tax, $106,114. Total other taxes, $378,114. License and permits revenue, building permits, $15,000. Noise permit, $100. Liquor license, $300. Prince George's County business license, $600. Residential parking permits, $1,200. Single-family home rental license, $19,600. Multi-family home rental license, $1,200. Dumpster permits, $1,500. Business licenses, Tier 1, $1,500. Business licenses, Tier 2, $10,600. Business licenses, Tier 3, $2,000. Business licenses, Tier 4, $500. Business license late fees, $500. Multiple rental dwelling fees, $75,000. Vacant lot registration fee, $1,200. Vacant lot re-registration, $1,200. Blight building violations, $300. Vacant building registration commercial, $2,400. Vacant building re-registration for commercial, $2,400. Vacant building registration for residential, $4,000. Vacant building re-registration for residential, $300. Total for license and permits, $141,400. Intergovernmental revenue, disposable rebate fee, $8,380. Total for the intergovernmental is $8,380. Fines revenue, animal right violations, $200. Code ordinance violations, $600. Total fines revenue is $800. Cable revenue, Comcast franchise fee, $18,000. Comcast PEG fee, $10,000. Verizon franchise fee is $13,000. Verizon PEG fee is $9,000. Total cable revenue is $50,000. Miscellaneous revenue, interest income, $1,500. Semi-annual bus shelter advertising, $250. Other revenues, mulch and miscellaneous, $100. Gazebo rental, $100. Town hall special events rental, $200. Total miscellaneous revenue is $2,150. Other income, International Day vendor income, $100. Police revenues, speed camera gross revenue, $500,000. Red light camera revenue, $17,000. State aid for police protection, $25,000. Parking tickets, $5,000. Vehicle impound, $1,500. Parking tickets paid after 30 days, $3,000. Parking tickets flag release, $300. Cops grant revenue, $46,600. Total non-grant police revenues is $598,400. Total unrestricted revenues is $2,417,414. Public safety and special purpose revenue, public safety funds, $63,000. Town center public safety funds that were transferred, $200,000. Veterans Memorial Park, $100. Special appropriations, $1,000. Other restricted revenue was $264,100. Encumbrances, cable TV, $118,541. Wyndham Road encumbered, $7,275. Equity training prior year encumbrance, $10,000. ARPA encumbrance, $600,000. Town center restoration prior year encumbrance, $264,035. Highway user revenue encumbrance, $25,312. Total of encumbrances is $1,025,163. Grant revenues, Anacostia Trail Heritage, $2,500. Community Legacy, $270,000. American Rescue Act, $1,131,091. Total grant revenues, $1,403,491. Total revenues is $5,110,268. Expenses, General Gov, Town Administrator salary, $94,111. Town Treasurer, $80,003. Town Clerk, $52,780. Merit allowance increase, $6,807. Overtime, $2,000. Employee incentives, $800. FICA payroll taxes, $18,031. Unemployment tax, $5,000. Health, life insurance, $13,000. Pension, $17,294. Total government salary and benefits is $289,826. General Gov legal fees, $20,000. Auditing fees, $15,000. Personnel employment expenditures, $1,500. Accounting fees, $1,000. Insurance and bonds, $12,000. Security system, $1,400. Cell phone, $1,500. Telephone, $3,000. Water and sewer, $6,000. Gas, $400. Electrical, $8,500. Postage, $1,000. Business license specialty paper, $100. Advertising, $1,000. Printing, binding, copying expense, $1,250. Newsletter printing, $10,000. Newsletter postage, $2,500. Office supplies and small equipment, $5,000. Town hall building maintenance and supplies, $2,000. Workers' compensation, $23,000. Copier lease, $6,200. Employee training, $3,000. Peak, $8,000. Computer equipment software, $4,500. Computer system network, $1,000. Office equipment, $1,000. Office furnishings, $500. Office machine maintenance, $100. Ordinance charter revisions, $5,000. Bank merchant fees, $1,650. Finance charges, late fees, $250. Contributions, donations, $3,500. Membership dues, subscriptions, $5,500. Conventions and conferences, $500. MML conference, $6,000. Travel reimbursement, $200. Fire extinguisher maintenance, $325. Translation services, $1,000. Payroll service, $6,000. Website, $3,500. Town hall building repairs, $3,000. Miscellaneous, $500. Professional services, $84,000. Strategic planning consultant, $1,000. Total general gov admin expenditures is $262,375. Total for general gov is $552,201. Elected official, mayor salary, $6,000. Town council salaries, $19,200. Mayor and council payroll taxes, $1,928. Mayor and council expenses, $750. Mayor meeting conferences, $3,500. Council meetings and conferences, $10,000. Election costs, $7,000. Elected official cell phone, $2,000. Total elected official cost is $50,378. Code management, full-time salary for the manager, $60,900. Overtime, $5,000. Full-time code enforcement officer, $45,000. Merit increase allowance, $3,177. Employee incentives, $600. Payroll taxes, $8,728. Health insurance, $24,700. Pension, $8,072. Code salary and benefits is $156,176. Code fuel expense, $500. Computer equipment software, $500. Parking citations and violation books, $250. Supplies, $200. Postage, $300. Uniform clothing, $600. Dues subscriptions, $500. Vehicle repairs and maintenance, $2,000. Vehicle equipment parts, $0. MML conference, $1,500. Employee training, $1,500. Total for general code, $7,850. That was the total administrative cost, and the overall total for code is $164,026. Police department.
Excuse me, Shelley, I'm
Yes.
sorry. I told you, man, reading the whole ordinance, not the budget.
You said the ordinance was the next meeting.
No, we then said that we're going to do the first reading, right? And then, because we're gonna have a hearing on the first meeting. So,
So you want me to read the ordinance?
it's the
Okay.
order.
For the tax rate?
Since we're not gonna change the tax rate, it's just the hearing for the budget.
Why didn't you stop me?
I was enjoying following along, just making sure everything was,
And
copacetic.
And I was keeping up as well. It was on the screen.
yeah, no,
I wasn't-
I
We
noticed.
were just scrolling on through.
I'm sorry for that. Yeah,
Like
no,
public
we're
service to
gonna
our
do the
residents.
first reading of the budget, and then the hearing is for the before the work session. Yes, and the hearing is for the ordinance, of course.
Okay, so see, you just said first reading of the budget, and then you said the ordinance was the next meeting.
No, I meant to say
Okay.
that the first reading
Okay.
and the hearing is on the next meeting.
Got it. I'm reading the ordinance. Mayor, council, staff, residents, I apologize.
I was like, when did I stop her?
Town of Brentwood, ordinance number 2022-02.
No, ordinance
Yeah, I don't
03.
think I have.
03. Ordinance number 2022-03. An ordinance establishing the tax rate, adopting an annual budget, and appropriating funds for fiscal year 2023, beginning July 1, 2022, and ending June 30, 2023. Whereas in accordance with Section 6-303 of the Tax Property Article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, by July 1st of each year, the Council of the Town of Brentwood shall set the tax rate for the fiscal year on all assessments of property subject to municipal corporation property tax. And whereas a public hearing must be held prior to the establishment of the municipal corporation tax rate, if the new tax rate will exceed the constant yield tax rate as calculated by the State of Maryland Department of Assessments and Taxation. And whereas the proposed tax rate for fiscal year 2023 will not exceed the constant yield tax rate of .3570 per $100 of assessed valuation. And whereas pursuant to the Town of Brentwood Charter Section 601-0, the mayor submitted a recommended budget for fiscal year 2023 to the council for its review and consideration. And whereas the budget provided a complete financial plan for fiscal year 2023 and contained estimates of anticipated revenues and proposed expenditures for the upcoming fiscal year. And whereas the Town of Brentwood Charter Section 603-0 requires the council to conduct public hearings on the proposed budget prior to adoption of the budget. And whereas the council held public hearings to receive comments on the proposed fiscal year 2023 budget and tax rates. And whereas after consideration, the recommended budget submitted by the mayor and the comments that were made at the public hearing on the budget and tax rate, the council adopts the budget and tax rates as set forth in the ordinance. Now therefore be ordained by the mayor and council of the Town of Brentwood this blank day of blank 2022 as follows. Section 1, tax rate real property. The tax rate for all real property subject to taxation by the Town of Brentwood is hereby set at, I do apologize, there's typo, 35 and 7/10 cents per $100 of assessed valuation for fiscal year 2023, beginning July 1, 2022, and ending June 30, 2023. Did I say that right? beginning July 1, 2022, and ending June 30, 2023. Section 2, tax rate personal property. The tax rate for all personal property subject to taxation by the town of Brentwood shall be $1.75, .175 per $100 assessed valuation for fiscal year 2023, beginning July 1, 2022, and ending June 30, 2023. Section 3, tax rate utility personal property. The tax rate for all operating property of railroads and public utilities subject to taxation by the town of Brentwood shall be $2.00 per $100 of assessed valuation for fiscal year 2023, beginning July 1, 2022, and ending June 30, 2023. Section 4, General Fund Revenues. The following amounts shall be adopted and appropriated as the general fund budget for all revenues for fiscal year 2023, beginning July 1, 2022, and ending June 30, 2023. Revenues, property taxes, $1,238,070. Other taxes, $378,114. License and permits, $141,400. Intergovernmental, $8,380. Fines revenue, $800. Cable TV and Verizon fees, $50,000. Other miscellaneous income, $2,150. Community fundraising, raffles, $100. Brentwood Police non-grant revenue, $598,400. Restricted revenues is $2,692,854. Total revenues is $5,110,268. Section 5, General Fund Expenses. The following amounts should be adopted and appropriate as the general fund budget for all expenses for fiscal year 2023, beginning July 1, 2022, and ending June 30, 2023. Expenditures, General Government, $552,201. Elected official costs, $50,378. Codes Management, $164,026. Brentwood Police Department, $713,816. Brentwood Volunteer Fire Department, $10,000. Maintenance Public Works, $273,939. Public Ways and Lightings, $166,114. Sanitation, $216,750. Recreation and Parks, $20,900. Cable Television, $16,359. Unforeseen Contingency, $279,870. Restricted Expense, $2,644,979. Total expenditures is $5,110,268. Section 6, Provisions Severable. The provisions of this ordinance shall be construed as severable, and should any section or part thereof be held unconstitutional or for any reason invalid or unenforceable by a court competent jurisdiction hereto, the unaffected portions thereof shall remain valid and shall be given full force and effect. Section 7, Conflicts. All ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict with any other ordinance and any of the provisions of this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 8, Effective Date. This ordinance shall become effective at the expiration of 30 calendar days following its adoption, or July 1, 2022, whichever is later. Passed and adopted this blank day of 2022. That completes the reading of
The
first reading of ordinance number 2022-03. FY23 proposed mayor and council budget. Yep.
Thank you, Shelley.
You're
So, we're gonna have the hearing on May 3rd, 2022. Can we also include the hearing for the other ordinance that you had, the holiday ordinance? So we can have one whole hearing for the same night.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And what other ordinance do we have? That, I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, so we can have just one.
Yep, that's it.
And that can be at 6:30, so before the work session. I guess that's it. Do we have anything else? Nope. Nothing else, so.
Can I just add, for anyone who's watching at home, who's curious about the tax rate, what we just essentially did was lowered the tax rate because everyone's property values have gone up, thereby making your property taxes unchanged. So just keep that in mind.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Yes. Yes. And I guess that's why we don't have any comments, right?
That's right. Taxes remain unchanged, that's good.
Yep, that's good. All right, so I guess that's for the good of this meeting. I'm going to be asking for a motion to adjourn. And we are at 8:54 p.m. Believe it or not.
I know you just came back from vacation, but
I'm like, what?
It's
So
all
mo-
you.
motion to adjourn at 8:53 p.m. That's what it says on my clock. Sorry. That's off. Is that accurate?
yeah.
Mine is 54, but.
Oh, 8:54 p.m.
All right, all in favor say aye.
All right.
This is great. Good night, Brentwood.